Hey there, Regissoir. This is Ryan with TrendLizard.com. Thank you for being a subscriber at TrendLizard.com, and thank you for your email with your request for 3 stocks to analyze using the Elliott wave theory. First order of business, I was able to analyze this stock that you see here, BHP Group Limited, as well as the Newcrest Mining Group. I was unable to find the chart of Santos, ticker STO, as you had sent it to me. I use stockcharts.com, and it's basically the tool that I need to be able to find the stock if I'm to analyze it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find Santos, so please feel free to either send me another ticker, or if you can find a way that I can get a chart of it on stockcharts.com, I'd be more than happy to look at it for you. For this video, I'm going to take a look at the other two, BHP and again Newcrest Mining. So here's BHP. Let's take a look at it using the Elliott wave theory. I absolutely understand why you sent this stock to me, BHP. Absolutely beautiful. Everything about this is almost textbook Elliott wave every step of the way. Absolutely love this stock. It's going to go onto my personal watch list just because I think it is such a stud, and I'm going to show you why. So it was incepted back at the start of 1992, had some back and forth movement, looks like counter trend price action. From there, off that 1998 low, we have this beautiful, absolutely crystal clear 5-wave advance into the 2011 high. This looks great. Every single up leg is trendy as it should be, as in it takes a 5-wave form. Once it hit its high in 2011, it gave us a very clear, obvious, and apparent 3-wave pullback into that early 2016 low. After it did that and officially corrected this big 5-wave up move with this 3-wave pullback, it is again embarked on trendy upside movement. Yet another super clear 5-wave advance into the 2019 high. Gave us a very clear 3-wave pullback that retraced almost a perfect 61.8% retracement of this up leg here, which is exactly what we like to see. And since then, it's turned higher again to confirm that the pullback into the 2020 low is a counter trend move and leave us with a very bullish feeling about the prospects of this guy and where it's headed into the future. So let's dive in a little bit more. Let's take a look at this advance off of the 2016 low, but from a long-term perspective, absolutely beautiful, looks super bullish, absolutely one that is worth owning. So let's zoom in. Here's that advance off that 2016 low. Again, it is a very clear 5-wave advance, and once again, just like the long-term time frame, every single up leg is taken a very nice, very clear and apparent 5-wave move to the upside before giving us those larger counter trend pullbacks. Once it completed that 5-wave move, we got a nice 3-wave pullback. Again, it retraced almost perfectly a 61.8% retracement of this up leg here, and again has turned higher in 2020 off of that March low and looks very bullish. Again, it's made this pullback a counter trend move, which is absolute confirmation that the trend is still up and that higher prices have to be expected overall. So now let's kind of drill in and start looking at some of the details you need to know for trading this guy as its move progresses. So here is what I see as the labeling of the advance off of March's low. You had a nice 5-wave advance into April's high, a counter trend 2nd wave pullback, and now we are in that 3rd wave advance from here. So everything looks bullish. It is expected to continue higher. One thing that could happen is we could get a larger counter trend pullback off of June's high. If at any point it moves below 49.50, that is proof that that is what's happening, that you're getting a larger pullback, but that would just delay the inevitable resumption of strength on this guy. I think higher prices have to be expected either way. The real important level that you need to be watching, and unfortunately, like most of the stocks I'm looking at currently, the real important level isn't super close, and that's because things have been moving so quickly to the upside off of March's low. Obviously, it slowed down since June's high, but nevertheless, it's still a massive move off of March's low. Point being, the key level to watch isn't as close as I'd like, but it is what it is, and that level is 42.75. BHP needs to stay above 42.75 at all times to remain bullish and continue the impression that this is the start of a new long-term uptrend, which is our impression, which is exactly what we expect. We expect it to continue substantially higher as it develops, but it must stay above 42.75. So if you own this guy, or you want to own this guy, I would own it with a stop at 42.75 and expect substantially higher prices ahead, because this guy looks absolutely bullish, and this appears to be the first wave of a larger 5-wave advance off of that 2016 low, and so substantial gains appear to be on the radar for BHP. I hope that one is helpful. Let's move on now to Newcrest Mining and take a look at that guy. This one I'm less enthused about. It still looks bullish, and I think it's still a tradable opportunity, but not nearly as much so as that first one, BHP. It was incepted back in 2008. It went up quite a bit, and then it absolutely tanked into the 2013 low. That breakdown is a very clear 5-wave trendy move. Since then, you've had this recovery that generally looks like a 5-wave move, but it has yet to retrace even 61.8% of this down leg, which just basically means there's no proof that this is the start of a new uptrend. It very well may be, but there's no proof on a larger time frame. There's things that I don't like as much about this recovery, not least of which is how long these counter trend moves have taken to play out to the upside, as well as the depth of this pullback, and we'll take a closer look at that. But on a long-term time frame, I would say that I'm not as excited about Newcrest Mining. It needs to get above 30 and continue from there to prove that it is at the start of a new, well, not necessarily the start, but that this is the first part of a much larger sustainable long-term uptrend. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this advance that has taken place off the 2013 low. This is it. Again, like I said, it is generally a 5-wave move, and that's never a bad thing. The problems I have with it are kind of multiple here. You have this first wave here, and then you have a very long second wave pullback, so much longer than the actual up leg. This took a few months to play out. This took a couple years to play out. It retraced more than 61.8% of this first up leg. Nevertheless, you had another nice trendy up leg here that was nice, took about 6 months to play out, and then again it was followed by this massive 2-year pullback that played out before you got that next 5-wave advance into the 2019 high. So there's some question marks there. Nevertheless, it is still bullish. It had this pullback. It is a 3-wave move. It retraced more than I would have liked to. It retraced more than 61.8% again. Despite that, it still proved to be a counter-trend 3-wave move to the downside before it stabilized and turned higher off that low and has been very strong and bullish since then. And we'll take a closer look at this recovery off of the 2020 low. Generally speaking, it's bullish. If you gave me a list of stocks and this one was on it, it probably wouldn't be the one I pick, but it is bullish because it's still recovering off of that 2013 low. It does have a general trendy 5-wave form to it. The pullback here is a counter trend move. All those things are bullish. It's just not the most ideal pattern, especially after looking at that beautiful pattern on BHP. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and zoom in and look at the 2020 action. This is it. This is what I'm seeing off of that March's low that took place. It does look like a trendy 5-wave move. It looks like it could be nearing an end. Might not quite be at the end of it. But here's what you need to do. You need to keep an eye on 2050. If NCM, and on stock charts it's NCMGY, as you can see here, ever moves below 2050, it's going to indicate that this up leg off of March's low is over and that a larger counter trend pullback has begun. Depending on your time frame, that might be an excuse for you to exit. If you have a longer term time frame with this position, you can hold on to it, expect a pullback into this yellow support area. It needs to stay above 16 overall. That is the key. As long as it stays above 16, this guy's going to have the potential to continue to grow and become a much better opportunity as it does so. But it needs to stay above 16. If it moves below 16 at any point in time, all bets are off. You need to be away from this guy. It would be a very bearish indication and lets you know that basically this whole recovery here is, well, at least this pullback off the 2019 high is not yet over, and that opens the door all the way back down to the 2020 low and potentially below from there. So if it moves below 16, that would be a bearish indication. And then on a shorter term time frame, a move below 2050 tells you that a near-term pullback has begun. And as long as it finds support there, then you can continue to ride it higher as it goes from there. So I am bullish on the shorter time frames on Newcrest. Just not as bullish as I am on some other stocks, and there's a lot of good stocks out there right now. So I hope that's helpful. Thanks again for sending me those tickers. Anybody else who's watching this video, if there's tickers you want me to analyze for you, please come visit me at TrendLizard.com, and we will get it done for you. Have a great day. Y'all take care.